Sometimes I look at my phone screen at 3 in the morning, and I just feel this crushing, heavy wave of disgust. It's not even about being tired anymore. It's the fact that I've spent the last 6 hours chasing a dopamine high that doesn't exist. I think a lot of us are quietly dealing with an addiction to adult content, but nobody ever talks about it because the shame is too heavy to carry out into the light. You click on a link because you feel lonely, or stressed, or bored. But the second the screen goes black, you're just left staring at your own reflection in the dark. It makes you feel hollow. It distorts how you look at real people, real relationships, and yourself. You realize you're using a screen to replace human connection, and it leaves you feeling more isolated than before you unlocked your phone. Last Tuesday, I tried to delete the apps. I told myself, this is the day I fix my head. I went downstairs, sat with my family, and tried to be normal, but my brain felt like it was short-circuiting. The silence in the room was too loud. My hands were shaking. I couldn't focus on what my mom was saying about her day. I felt like a ghost sitting at the dinner table. After 10 minutes, I couldn't take the anxiety anymore. I made an excuse, walked back up to my room, locked the door, and fell right back into the same exact cycle. It feels like a trap. You hate the thing you're addicted to, but you're too terrified of the empty silence to let it go. And the worst part is, you can't even talk to your friends about it, because when you look at your friend group, you realize half of them are just ghosts too. We sit at lunch together, we laugh at the same memes, we wear the same clothes, but it all feels completely fake. Last Friday, I was sitting right in the middle of the group, surrounded by people I've known for years. They were talking about a party over the weekend, a party that everyone was invited to except me. They were planning it right in front of my face, laughing, talking about who was bringing what. And it was like I was invisible. I sat there with this fake, frozen smile plastered on my face, nodding along, while my chest felt like it was collapsing. Nobody looked at me. Nobody noticed that I hadn't said a word in 20 minutes. That's when it hits you. You can be surrounded by a crowded room of friends and still feel completely, entirely alone. You realize you're only kept around as an extra in their movie. When you live like that long enough, social anxiety just becomes your default setting. It changes how you walk down the school hallway. You start looking at the floor because meeting someone's eyes feels like physical pain. You convince yourself that every whisper, every laugh from a group passing by is somehow about you. You start rehearsing your lunch order 5 times in your head before you reach the counter, praying your voice doesn't crack. It's exhausting. It's a constant internal war where your own mind is whispering, "You don't belong here. They're all judging you. Just run away." Yesterday, the teacher called on me to read a paragraph out loud. The room instantly went dead silent. I could feel 30 pairs of eyes turning toward my desk. My heart started hammering against my ribs so hard I could barely breathe. I opened my mouth, but my throat was completely dry. I stumbled over the very first word, and a couple of guys in the back row let out a tiny, quiet laugh. It wasn't even a big deal to them, but to me, it felt like the world ended. I just muttered, "I don't know," and stared down at my desk, my face burning red. I spent the rest of the day feeling like a failure, playing those 3 seconds over and over in my head, tearing myself apart. But I'm tired of letting the dark days win. This morning, I woke up and the sun was hitting the floor through my blinds, just a quiet, yellow square of light on the carpet. I didn't check my phone for the first 10 minutes. I just sat on the edge of my bed and breathed. It didn't fix my anxiety. It didn't bring back the friends who don't care about me. But for 60 seconds, the voice in my head was quiet. Maybe surviving isn't about fixing everything all at once. Maybe it's just about getting through today and choosing to believe that tomorrow might suck just a little bit less. If you're listening to this in your room right now, in the dark, just know you aren't the only one fighting this quiet war. We're still here, and maybe that's enough for now.